Bro, you better kill him.
Dad, this is ridiculous!
I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him.
It is not his...
Hello friends and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise swearsies, it's just a fact and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up at your own leisure if you want to, whatever. Today we're diving back into r/Tales of Neckbeards. Yes, indeed, we got that last part of Serpentbeard. I wanted to close out this saga for today for a couple of different reasons. One is that the saga is only 3 parts. It's really short. Why not just, put it in the done pile? The second part is that it actually has a song somewhat attached to it. It was written by the same OP, and I've been practicing up for it, and today I think that I am ready. So before we get into the story, we're gonna do a song a la Zuka and the Burgerbeard saga, because actually Raiga is one of Zuka's friends. So big shout out to Zuka for dragging him into the ReddX fam, you know what I mean? And I definitely appreciate the parody. It is primo. I'm not sure if I'll put music to it just because copyright and whatnot, but as with most of the other songs, I do plan to do like a second upload that I don't have to worry about monetization for, so I can include the music and whatnot. Maybe we'll do like a whole ReddX compilation or something like that, but that's in the future. I ramble. Let's get that song going and then we can dive into Serpentbeard and get this whole thing wrapped up. Get it? 'Cause he's a snake! Plugs, disclaimers, etc. Let's go. Parody theme song, ReddX reads. My god, 1 month ago? It took me a lot of time to find the nerves for this one. I thought this might amuse our resident reader. My buddy Zuka got quite the pleased reaction from ReddX with his song parodies centered around the creature that is Burgerbeard. So I figured, why not try my hand at something similar, except themed around the many hilarious sagas that we have been blessed with. I hope you're entertained, ReddX. We're going with the beat to the Cells at Work theme song, Mission Health Comes First, and see if you can identify all of the stories. Well, I know I can, but hopefully the comments can as well. All right, you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are ReddX Reads. 1, 2, 3, 4. Reddit readings for you. Woo! Each day I'm here on Reddit browsing all through the subreddit, each niche and genre filled. But there's so much to choose from. I'm lost, but it's what I do. I'm the greatest Reddit reader, so here we go. Let's dive into cringe. Perfect stuff to binge. Promise swearsies it's a fact, so go look it up. Yup. Each day I'm out here hunting. Duster, Bradford, Evelyn, watch your ugly backs. With Adelaide to help, they'll suffer. Neckbeard filtering is what a crazy man like me is for. Hit the door. Let us set the trap. Watch their psyche snap. When my sister says to stay out, listen to her. Well, every day I'm out there typing, recounting all the horrors of the one named Burgerbeard. Fudge rolls and tabletop rules bending. The wrath of Rambo isn't near enough to make him go. Not the toe. Let's remove the beard. He's worse than we feared. Why the hell did we agree to drunken triage? Well, after school I'm psyched for fencing, but this blubbery miladier will not leave me alone. He smells of weak old ravioli, claims he likes a camp, fills his water skin with tea and coke. I hope he chokes. Get me out of here, he's leaving greasy smears. Who in their right mind ass slaps when you're lifting weights? Up in the mountains I'm tending, cleaning up the cabins where the sly can lose her leers. Finding out I had a boyfriend, danger, tried to start a fight, got his tubby PJ-clad ass beat. Boyfriend sweet. I am not like you, not a liking to. Holy moly, 4 burritos wasn't enough. Here for your entertainment, gardening, the missus of the channel making wholesome content fun. Plant flowers, veggies, and I tend them. Though my content's not the same, I love to make it for you all. Having a ball. Let's get in the dirt, till and seed the earth. Working with the hubby is an utter delight. Millions of stories told, and these are just a few. But we plan to delve on in and find some more. Though we don't know who you are, all of us are working hard, making all the freshest content you come to us for every day, laying down our sanity, laughing at their vanity, protecting you from sadness because mental health comes first. Are you reading? Yes, I'm reading. Sure you're reading? Of course I'm reading. Reading for you! Well, hot damn, it might be a bit of a hot mess, but I really did have a lot of fun learning it and singing it, so I definitely appreciate that. Ryga, Fennec, my boy, my beautiful OP, thank you so much. And with that out of the way, I suppose let's jump into the main story. The saga of Serpentbeard, finale of Wolves and Whistles, mild, not safe for work warning. Oh. Thank God it's mild. The names of people involved have been changed. The events and locations described within have not. Holy monkey Jesus! This story has been read by ReddX. I can safely say that I didn't expect it to be worth reading on his channel, but here we are. So I just want to say thank you for giving my story a read and for your understanding of the situation at the time. Your commentary helped me to push this final piece of the tale out, and I promise that this finale will be where the catharsis comes in. Well, I think you underestimate your writing skill, good sir. It is definitely a story worth reading. The parody, also amazing. Quite a bop, if I do say so myself, whether it has the music or not. And I wonder if people can identify all the beards. Have you watched all the ReddX sagas? Ooh, it's so good. Deserves a video of its own, but that'll come. I really appreciate you being a part of this community, Ryga, because you are one really awesome dude. Also, the comments helped me to notice a spelling error that I made in regards to the pineapple enzyme. Bromine versus bromelain, yeah. It was indeed bromelain that I meant to type, but I missed the spelling error because spell check is kinda doofy. Though to the person who said I have an American education, you're right, but screw you anyways. I don't think I responded to that one either. I'm like, comment section not looking so good today. I gotta go. It's time to tell the somewhat truncated tale of my last year and a half communicating with Serpentbeard. And this one has a lot of players involved because now I had a lot of friends. Sweet. So let's dive on into Serpentbeard's ultimate downfall with this final session of massively multiplayer online group therapy. Yeah, kind of nailed that one down, didn't you? As long as you're game to play, so am I, man. This is therapy for me too, honestly. So, meet the cast. We got Fennec, protagonist narratio. Once again, the hyperactive, big-eared, electrical fox telling this story. At this point in my life, I had gotten in with an entirely new group of friends, and their influence was beneficial in many senses of the word. While still in the vicinity of Serpentbeard, I had started to slowly drift my rowboat away from his own RMS freak show of a ship. Also, I found my first love during this stretch of time. Aw, that's always nice. I hope we get to meet in the cast list. Serpentbeard, Neckbeardicus Forktungicus, still a big, fat, snake-obsessed beardo asshole. But he was starting to slowly lose his grip on me. Still sexually defiant, and still with the neckbeardiest habits that I have ever personally witnessed. He was named for his online avatar, Anaga, and his love of snakes. His slipping grip on me seemed to result in a slipping grip on his sanity as well, and to an action that permanently shattered any chance of me ever talking to him again. Claude, Cucumberus Coolicus. We heard a lot about him so far, but he ain't said nothing. Maybe this story's his moment to shine. The old friend group's permanently relaxed stoner. Still a good guy, but far too laid back and like, whatever for his own good. Learned about everything else in the course of this tale's climax, leading to his own swift exodus moments before mine. I wish we'd kept in touch, but alas, was decidedly the only one of us not to be a furry. Flaps, Bottomus Bitchicus, Serpentbeard's far too good for him boyfriend. Despite definitely not approving of Serpentbeard's actions during part 2, he remained with him because Serpentbeard still treats him like a king? Actually, I don't know what he would prefer, since his online avatar was a Fuda elf angel. Chicks with dicks, or angels with dicks, I guess. Either way, not a bad person. I hope he did get away from Serpentbeard eventually. We got Fluffy, brother a kiss, other mother a kiss. My best buddy ever since shortly after the first tale of Serpentbeard. This guy is one of the greatest men that I have ever met, or likely ever will meet. He pulled me into a new circle of friends, which Serpentbeard attempted to schmooze his way into, only to get unceremoniously thrown out just a year later. He was nicknamed for his red fox avatar with the far too fluffy tail. A big reason for me getting into D&D and tabletop games, my main outlet for character creativity, along with Spider, Arachnus Mysterio, a Brazilian lunatic of a man. Brazilian lunatic. Okay, let's hear about. At the time, as thick as thieves with myself and Fluffy. While this friendship did fall apart eventually, at this time he was a great guy to hang out with, and he ran a hell of a tight ship as our dungeon master. You may remember him after the Tale of Zalvin, if you read that story, which is a Red exclusive. Oh, Red exclusive. I've forgotten that one. Gotta put that into the vocabulary. It's important for the branding. Unfortunately, I haven't read that, but now that we're opening up the channel a little bit more, sometimes doing them second episodes, I can start shuffling in some like RPG horror stories, both from the subreddit and also from my personal subreddit. So we might yet hear the tale of Zalvin. But regardless, this entire story took place after that tale. Edge, Murderous Idiotica, the local murder hobo from our tabletop group, and a complete edgelord idiot. Despite this, while he was still our friend, he made damn sure that we knew he had our back, even at the worst of times, and he was close friends with Mew, Feminicus Gamerus, my first and to date only love, and our first female player. Despite her nickname, her online avatar was actually an admittedly very stacked black wolf. Sweet as pie, had some mental scars of her own, perhaps that's why we meshed so well, and was into many of the same nerdy things that I was. Well, that ain't too many extra people, but I'm glad your social circle is expanding. You know, it is always nice to find somebody that you click with. I get that. Select your stage. This story took place in a small dust bowl, a fair distance from the east of Dalesport, in the general area of Eastern Oregon, where I still live to this day, in a well-known rodeo town famous for being the go-to place to party every September. Well, if you're a cowboy, anyway. A city well known for wool mills, historic underground tours, and a whiskey that will knock you so flat on your ass that you'll be wobbling for another 3 days after sobering up. It's not the area of the Dales and Dalesport, but damn if it's still not a nice, quiet place when it is not September. So the party is formed and the stage is set. Let us dive into this final tale. By the way, I should probably mention that if you haven't checked out the previous tales, they are in fact in the description. I forgot to do it with part number 2. Super sorry about that. Sometimes my mind goes away. But I'm gonna make sure they're in there today if you did miss part 1. Anyways, here is the saga of Serpentbeard, the finale of Wolves and Whistles, or Fennec's Final Nerve, if you prefer. First things first, I moved away from Dalesport to the Eastern Oregon area a month after my trip to PyCon, placing myself with my mother and stepfather. I got away from Fennec Dad, which left him to ponder how to get better as a person. To his credit, he succeeded, and my stepdad, being who he is, helped me to get off my ass and be more active. He even encouraged me to seek employment, the first person to do so in my life after years of doctors telling Fennec Mom, he may never work or live on his own. Ha! In your face, neurological science. CSI Miami. So then, the second tale was one of bleg, ugh, and wherein I traveled across the country for the first time to attend a convention with Serpentbeard and Flaps. While Flaps was a great person to hang around, Serpentbeard was even worse in person. He smelled bad, clearly didn't shower, had serious acne, had no sense of nutritional value where his supply stockade was concerned, tried to coerce me into acting on my bi-curiosity in ways that destroyed it entirely. He lied to us about the quality of this convention, fucked Flaps in the same room where I was trying to sleep, fucked me over by trying to get what little money I had left when I needed it in order to get my luggage home, and tried to get me detained by airport security due to my non-knowledge of how airlines worked at the time. Overall, yeah, a bag of shit. Just an awful person. And we didn't even mention that Serpentbeard made OP eat his own jism in the first part. Did you watch the first part? You probably should. So yeah, at this point, I was pretty much done letting Serpentbeard push me around. I stuck around, but not out of being blackmailed anymore. I was honestly just past caring about it. I stuck around because I still got along with Flaps and Claude, but he was slowly losing ground as far as manipulating me. He would buy a new game and say, "I had to play it with him." After you bullied me into playing Mass Effect 3's multiplayer and buying into the game's loot crates, Sigourney Weaver, screw that. Galaxy Quest. My buddy Nico's pretty big on Mass Effect. It never tickled a nerve for me, honestly. I had no idea it had loot crates. That makes me not ever want to play it even more. Well, there's this new game online called Tabula Rasa. You mean this one where I tried an hour of it and got bored? Yeah, you have fun with that. And try bringing Flaps with you. Hey, wanna join our group on Skype? Not really into Skype. No thanks, I say, while secretly using it without telling him my call sign. Slipping further and further away. Now sometimes, something that he suggested would turn out to be something that got my attention. After all, I did enjoy playing Borderlands 2 or Castle Crashers with him, Claude, and Flaps. I'm an assassin for life. But a majority of the time, I just had no more interest in letting him tell me, "You have to do this with us. It's gonna be so awesome." It even got to the point where I would buy games that he specifically hated. Not bad games, mind, but good games that he just hated for some dumb reason or another. Ugh, why are you playing XCOM? Dude, he doesn't like XCOM? Oh, no taste. Can't even talk to this guy. Because I like strategy games, dude. That series sucks. You should sell that game. Been playing it since it was a PC series, Serpentbeard. Step off. Now, Serpentbeard also had a mutant power, as I had learned at one point. He had supernaturally sensitive ears, to the point that whistling at any point would piss him off and make him leave. It hurt his ears. Before the PyCon incident, I refrained from doing so. At first, to not anger a friend, and eventually to avoid his wrath. After PyCon, I did it just to fuck with him. It's so fun to mess with assholes, man. The more I read, the more I like Ryga. Just start whistling once in a while on our Xbox group chats, cause him to have an ear seizure, and laugh to myself every single time. Eventually, he did find out that I was on Skype and managed to pull me into joining a group. Fine. But at this point, I was in my D&D group with Fluffy, Edge, and Spider. Serpent did attempt to join our tabletop session, but seeing as at this time we were already dealing with the sack of douche that was Zealot, I told Spider that I did not want Serpentbeard to ever be allowed in this group for any reason, and especially not to let him join the game. Spider, I do not want Serpentbeard joining our game. Not for any reason. Are you sure? I mean, we could use another player. Especially if Zealot keeps up his behavior. Absolutely not. If you let him in the group, I am leaving.
All right, man, but, if you don't want him joining, then why are you friends with him?
The question actually pierced my defenses. I wasn't even keeping him around out of fear anymore, so why was I still his friend if it wasn't the blackmail that was keeping me around? Despite this, however, Serpentbeard did manage to finagle his way into another group with us. He also pulled Claude and Flaps along with him. I would have been angry that he managed to snake his way into another group with me, but I just shrugged it off. Fluffy, thankfully, did not join this other group, but he did meet Serpentbeard, and the two mixed like Mark's Moroccan pasta from Peep Show. Oh my god! Not even Ainsley.Jeremy.
I need to go Nigella. I'm gonna be the hairy biker.
That's not Nigella. That's not even Ainsley, mate.
Lovely filling letters. God, I love Peep Show so much. See, the further I get in, I'm like, Ryga, we bros for real. I didn't know you like Peep Show. That's the best. Fluffy hated Serpentbeard from minute one and saw through a lot of the bullshit that I hadn't before. It made me realize that I really did need to learn more about subtle cues for bad behaviors. And to my credit, I have managed to develop something of a sixth sense regarding people I meet, also known as the Fennec Tingle. Uh-oh. Might want to consider a different name for that. Fennec Feels? Why's it gotta be a tingle? This sense goes right the fuck off when I sense neckbeard tendencies. Suicidal tendencies. Look, Fennec, you need to cut Serpentbeard out of your life, man. I get serious bad vibes from him. It's not that simple, man. It is, actually. Just tell him that you don't want to be friends with him. I saw how condescending he was with you earlier, and I don't like it. I know, but no buts. He needs to go. And from the sounds of it, you think so too. It's that obvious. The more I thought about it, he and Spider were absolutely right. But I didn't want to just outright dump him in case he chose to throw some kind of temper tantrum. So I chose to wait things out just a little bit longer. Eventually, two more people joined our group. One was Edge's girlfriend, Toothless. She was rather blunt with us, but not to the point that we didn't appreciate having another player. The other, I talked about in the D&D tale I told, and that was Mew, a girl with a wolf avatar online. Mew and I got along fantastically at the time. It was a long-distance relationship, but we did eventually consider each other to be boyfriend and girlfriend. In fact, we actually visited each other a couple of times. It was nice to have someone to share affection with, and just to be able to talk about anything. This was before our visits to each other, however. I definitely do agree with that, man. Have I told you guys how much I love my wife recently? Because I fucking do. Serpentbeard noticed that I was much happier than I'd ever been, despite the fact that my interactions with him were getting less and less frequent. So he decided to ask me,
Fennec, why the hell are you so damn chipper lately?
He asked.
You don't even play games with me anymore. And you haven't gotten on social furry chat room site for like a month.
If you must know, it's because I'm spending more times doing things with Mew and other tabletop guys, I answered. I have a life outside of our Xbox circle, you know.
Mew? Why?
Because she's my girlfriend? Something must have snapped in his mind at that point. I think he lost his mind because he was hoping to possibly drag me into a relationship with him and Flaps, despite the fact that those chances were sunk like the RMS Titanic after the convention that shall not be named. And he got jealous because he started ranting about how
you didn't give yourself a chance to experiment.
And
why would you want to jump into a relationship that fast?
To be fair, I do think Mew and I jumped in way too quickly, probably why our relationship only lasted a couple of years, but his petulance about this really annoyed me. How fast is too fast? I came to meet my wife after, 6-7 months of talking online? Not a single day of regret. But yeah, we'll talk about that more in the Discord. Serpentbeard, you need to deal with the fact that I have a girlfriend. My life does not revolve around you.
But it used to.
No, it didn't. And it never will. At that point, it was becoming clear to him that his little RMS failure was beginning to take on water. Titanic sinking. Move. I got off that call feeling angry, but at the same time, somewhat satisfied. I stood up to him more than I had in well over 2 years. Our interactions continued on for a while. I would talk to my D&D group, sometimes talk to the Xbox group, and slowly talk less and less to Serpentbeard himself. One day, Edge told me that Mew was acting scared. Of what? He didn't know, as she was reluctant to tell him what happened. Oh, I have a guess as to what happened. I had to talk to her. I wasn't going to leave my girlfriend sitting there without someone to confide in. So after a bit, I got into a Skype call with her. She tried to reject my calls for a bit, but I typed some PMs to her expressing my worry, and she eventually relented. Mew, are you okay? I asked. I can't deal with him anymore. Him? Serpentbeard. My eyes widened. I don't know what possessed me to push further, but I had to know now. What the hell did he do to her? Mew, what happened? Tell me. It took her a few minutes, but she quietly told me what happened. I was talking with the others about how excited I was to come visit you this summer, but that I was nervous about flying from Boston. To put this in context, she had been planning her first trip out to see me the coming summer, which was to be our first official meeting as boyfriend and girlfriend. We were super excited, but super nervous as well. For what it's worth, her visit was splendid, and we did have a great time, but I digress. Her concern seemed normal enough, so I assumed that Serpentbeard had said something just as awful as what Fennec Dad had said to me while I was in Connecticut. I was wrong. It was worse. Okay. And what did he... He said that if I was from Boston, that meant that he was really close. And he was going to plan a trip to come and see me with Flaps. And at this point, my vision went red. Have some fun with me. My ears started ringing. Bro, you better kill him.
Dad, this is ridiculous.
I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him.
It is not his...
I tried to tell him no, but he just said he'd talk to you about telling him my address, and I thought you were calling to... I felt my fingernails almost pierce my hands. I was absolutely enraged, and I had finally reached my personal limit to borrow from old Zuka. He can't keep getting away with it, thought Jesse Pinkman. You're doing no such thing, Mew, I said. He thinks he can blackmail me like this, and he's fucking wrong. Blackmail? I came clean with her about the bet that happened almost 2 years prior. She was shocked, but she was understanding about the situation that I had found myself in. I comforted her for an hour, and when she was finally feeling better, I wished her good night for the evening. Now, I had to end this, and end it with prejudice. Everything else I had dealt with, even when I shouldn't have let it slide. But this was the last straw. This was, in fact, the quadriplegic dromedary, crippled camel. I went out to a nearby store and picked up something. Hope it's a box of shotgun shells. A whistle. Oh, that's good too. The highest decibel one that I could find that wasn't dog grade. The following day, I pulled Serpentbeard, Flaps, and Claude into a call with me. What's up, Fennec? Claude asked. You almost never start the call unless it's important. Whoa! It is. I'm afraid I have to leave this group. For good. I could hear a scoff on the other end of the call. It was Serpentbeard.
You're not going anywhere. Don't be so dramatic.
Actually, I am Serpentbeard. I'm done. Done with you in particular.
Oh, what did I do now?
Mew told me what you said, you asshole! Serpentbeard went silent. I can't believe that you think you can threaten the Reaper with Flaps and that I would be even remotely okay with you doing so. There's no way in hell that I will ever give you her address. Never! Ever! Flaps was immediately horrified because I heard him shout, You said we'd do what? Claude stammered a few moments, as if he had no idea what to add to this. What? Whoa.
He's making that up.
Serpentbeard tried to interject. Oh, really? And I suppose you basically stealing money that I would have needed to get my luggage back home last year is something that didn't happen either. Or are you trying to blackmail me with the video of me jacking it? You didn't, Claude said with a growl. You blackmailed him too? Whoa! I didn't know what with, but Serpentbeard had apparently gotten dirt on Claude as well, and this was his chance to let loose in the company of his fellow victim of injustice.
Blackmail's such a strong word. What does it even really mean?
Serpentbeard tried to stammer out. Fuck you, I'm gone, man, Claude said, leaving the chat with nothing more than a blink. For a moment, I thought I heard Serpentbeard hissing, or maybe foaming at the mouth from the start of a rage seizure. Neither of those things is unlikely. Flap couldn't even speak much. All I remember him saying was, I'm sorry, over and over and over as I unloaded all of this onto him. You think you're a friend of mine, but you're not. All you've been is a fucking parasite in my life. Can't believe I wasted 4 years being friends with a psychopath like you. So you know what? I'm done. We're not friends. And I hope to God that Flaps is far more forgiving to you than I will ever be. Oh, and one more thing. I pulled out the whistle, and right when Serpentbeard was about to retort, tweet! I was in the call just long enough to hear the raging, blubbering screams of a whale with Tourette's syndrome before I left myself. And that was the end of it. The end of Serpent's carefully constructed world, ending not with a bang, but a tweet. I blocked him from ever communicating with me on any form of social media, Xbox, Skype, my furry account, everything that I could remember. And most importantly, I told the hybrid group about what happened. No one was okay with what Serpentbeard did to Mew, as it should be. Spider and Edge were beside themselves with rage. Toothless did her best to be a female pillar for Mew, and Serpentbeard could only stammer excuses as he tried to weasel out of this bad situation as he left me doing 1.5 years prior. And we, all done with his shit, left his chat. He was left with just Flaps, his eternal bottom, for company. I was free of Serpentbeard. I left him, marooned for all eternity in the center of a dead group chat. Buried alive. Buried alive. Epilogue. Mew and I were together for 2 years. It was the only meaningful relationship I've ever had with another person, but it was at the very least pleasant up towards the end. She's currently married to someone else, and I'm happy for her. I don't know what happened to Claude. After his one outburst, I never heard from him again. Never anger the chillaxed member of your group. I hope he's doing well. Flaps, as far as I'm aware, is still with Serpentbeard. He's still a good guy, and occasionally posts comments to me. I wish he wasn't so forgiving, but it just goes to show that he's a better man than I will ever be. Fluffy and I are still brothers to this day. In fact, he and I play some tabletop games with our favorite GM to date, someone you might know as the creator of the Burgerbeard saga, Zuka. Whoa, it's a small world, man! We finally found ourselves a forever group, along with our 2 buddies, Sneck, a much better snake enthusiast, and Squirrel. The first D&D group collapsed hard. After Toothless, Edge, and Mew left, Spider tried to form a new one for 1 year, to no avail. And eventually he tried to ghost Fluffy, attempting to drag me into his ghosting. And I ghosted him in turn without telling him. Utafa from part 2 remains my longest running internet pal, and is still an amazing dork to just chill and talk games or anime with. Also, is way too much of an enthusiast for certain plastic enhancements. If you're reading this, Utafa, I'm not sorry. As for me, I'm doing great now. Good. I have a steady job, I live on my own, and I have more friends than I know what to do with, both online and off. And yet, despite how much seething rage I have in regards to Serpentbeard, I will still admit that if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have broken out of my shell and grown past being a live-at-home loser without a job. I had new experiences that I would never have had without him, and if it wasn't for his bullshit, I wouldn't have met Fluffy, or by extension, Zuka, or Sneck, or Squirrel. I wouldn't be friends with some of my unmentioned buddies, such as Servine, Kamina, Speedy, Portguess, or Keebler. I may never have found love at all, or even known what love is. And of course, I wouldn't have had a tale of cringe to tell. The most important thing. No, dude, I'm so glad that you're doing well. And you will find another lover, okay? It's just a matter of time. Put yourself out there, keep opening doors. Eventually the right one's gonna pop up for you. I want to thank you all for reading along with this session of multiple... I love this name. Massively multiplayer online group therapy. I know it may not be like the best written or paced, but I needed to get it off my chest. And the kind words of ReddX in his reading of the first part made me realize that it was worth delving into my less than perfect past. So thank you, ReddX. You rock. You rock too, Ryga. We officially bros, okay? We gotta sit down and watch Peep Show together one of these days. Seasons 1 through 9, all of them. As for you, Serpentbeard, I want to say something directly to you if you're somehow reading this. I hate you, and I'm grateful to you. Drive off a cliff. I may have other tales of minor beards in my more recent life to tell, but thankfully, they're much less scarring stories and more basic levels of neckbeard cringe. I'll take it. But for now, I'll just say, thank you for playing. Presented by Fennec. See you, Space Cowboy. Well, I will say that I've never been blackmailed, but if I ever was, then coming clean honestly does seem like the best thing to do, you know? Because you're not really like the horrible asshole that he is just for eating a handful of your own spooge, you know? It's weird, but okay. There's a reason that you did it, and he's been dangling this thing over your head for years, which is just ridiculous. I am so glad that you finally got away and basically just left him alone with himself, his meager little thoughts, and his bottom, his yes man. I definitely don't think that there's any hope of redemption for Serpentbeard, especially considering the fact that he did this to multiple people. I'm really curious what he harassed Claude into doing, because honestly, if he is the chill stoner type, Serpentbeard should be like, oh, we can't be friends if you don't, and Claude would be like, alright dude, whatever. I don't care. You think you're the only fucking people to play Phantasy Star Universe or whatever the hell other games you're playing at the moment? I don't need ya. So yeah, pretty interesting indeed. I guess we can theorize that. At the end of it all, Serpentbeard got probably just a fraction of what he actually deserved. Sending a rape threat to your girlfriend? Dude, I would have driven to his house. Or more likely, I would have paid somebody else that lives closer to drive to his house. So yeah, I think Serpentbeard is definitely up there on the worst neckbeards list. No, he didn't assault anybody, but he victimized a lot of people, and goddamn, I really wish that he would have come off worse than he did. He probably just settled into another group and started the whole game all over again, which is super sad. He's probably still out there online, probably in World of Warcraft Classic. I'm just playing. Wow, you know I love you. But I do hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, I hope that you like, comment, and or subscribe. Maybe check out them links in the description. All kinds of stuff down there. Wifey's channel, Mr. and Mrs. ReddX. The Teespring if you're trying to rock the merch. My personal subreddit, r/ReddX reads. My Amazon affiliate link, which currently goes to my microphone. But if you click on through, buy anything else on Amazon, I get kicked back a little something, which is super nice. There's also my social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Discord. Oh, and my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons, of course. I'd like to thank them all, but especially Calvicus, Fatboy Shrimp, Robert Waits, TSM Kirby, Teddy the Police, Aaron W, Delicious Jelly Donut, Candy Sora, Fire Drake, Livison, Silent Revolver, Zathras, Zero MMX, Little Lone Wolf, Vanilla Mel, Rouse Tower, Caustic Fox, Derpy Tricks, Aaron Lennox, Fisher Diggy, Hype at Japan, OG James Cook, JM Coon, Jerry, John Hero, KK, Miss Monday, Magdalene Marshall Thornrose, Melgar the Destroyer, Mirthful Baker, Mr. J, my boy Nat One Nick, Lady Nix, Katykins Elizabeth, Sidestep, Cider Drinker, Serrated Ash, Siegfried, Steampunk Alley, Synaptic Boomstick, Brilliant Tamago, Tato Ferret, That Duck and Bug, Fusky, Treeberg, Redwind, Goose's Honk, Leon Embers, Naga Viper, John Indoors, A Normal Joe, A Roxers, Cake Jerry, that's a different Jerry, Crafty Kitty Cat, Mark 211, maybe next time, Organic Cam, Princess Rosalie, Ghosty the Last Shinobi, and the Maestro himself, Zuka Cervantes, who also got a little guest star in this episode, which is pretty cool. So, thank you very much, Ryga, for the parody song, for the lovely episodes. I'm sure I'm going to get both of those up eventually, probably within a month or so you can claim your place among the greats. Thank all of you guys, each and every one of you, for hanging out with me today, especially if you've listened this far in the video. That is absolutely killer. I hope you join me again tomorrow. In order to do so, please keep yourself safe out there. Wash your hands. But also take some time out and do something that you personally enjoy today. Like, I don't know, watching some ReddX videos? That'd be cool. Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I shall see you in the next one. And until then, friends, bye-bye.